I did a quick online search and I couldn't find anything. I just picked this up. I thought it'd be cool to turn it into an actual amp. I already got it torn apart because I didn't plan on making this, but we'll see where it goes. So the front and back just kind of come off with a flathead screwdriver. You get it in between the leather and the base of them, and then you can pry them off, both. I was going to try to recycle the circuit because more amplification is better, but I cannot find for the life of me any point where a signal will go through and then play through the speaker. Even on the FM radio setting, I can't figure it out. So for now, I think this just has to get taken out, and I'll replace it with some other electronics, which really sucks because I didn't want to have to do a whole lot, but it's not really going to be as much of a conversion as it is just a complete redo with the same case. Well, I've been testing. I got this LM386 amp, which I got in a pack of 5 for really cheap on Amazon, so that's going to be the basis for this. And there's this 4-ohm speaker that came out of a big Bluetooth speaker. This one does not work, but you can see it's like the same construction as the one in there. And then there is one that does work that is practically, I mean it is identical to it, still in the Bluetooth speaker. So I'll be throwing that where this guy is, right there, and then I'll put the original on the other side, and then I might be able to fit this third 4-ohm speaker right in the middle, and I think that would make a pretty decent amp. So this is a speaker that was in it, and I mean the difference is this one is 5 watts and this one is 3 watts. But since I'm going to be running 3 of these in series, it should be fine. There's going to be so much power that's going to be needed to drive them that the slight difference in wattage will be okay, and it'll still sound decent with more than one speaker, so I'm not worried. That's going to go right where that one was, and then these two, because they have the same bracket, will go on the outsides. So I have been working at this stuff with just a box cutter. I got that, and you can see it's literally just high density cardboard, so you don't really need a whole lot for tools to do this. It's not real pretty, but it'll be behind this screen, which I also have to cut out space for the other 2 speakers. But it'll be nice. Alright, measurements aren't exact, but, you know, it doesn't really matter. So, something on this scale. Now these are just going to mount nicely with 3 screws, but this other one, wherever I put it, it's not going to want to sit nicely, because this is all I have to mount it. Maybe I could find a way to screw it in like this and it'll do, but then I just have to finish that. I'm going to take the mesh off and try to widen the gaps for these 2 speakers as well, and then I could just glue the mesh back on. Alright, speakers have been mounted in, and this is not pretty at all, but again, it'll be behind a screen, so you can see there's enough space here for the speakers to just make noise and poke through, so it'll work. Well, I got the stuff stapled back on. I would not recommend stapling it because there's a bunch of itty bitty little ends that stick out that you can't even see, but they definitely scratch. But you know, those will work. They'll cover it. So now we just have to wire the speakers together, and then it's deciding what to do for amplification. Well, all 3 speakers are put in. It's just wired into that little LM386 amp, and it's being powered by just a laptop because I don't want to have to plug it in. We have ye old parts caster, and I'm going to give you a little sound demo. It's not going to be nothing great, but you know. Alright, so we have kind of like an overdrive sound with, I just have the volume cranked at max on everything on the Telecaster pickup here. Alright, where we're at currently is the LM386 is just mounted up in this board, and then there's a stereo out, so I can use it as an on-off switch. And this is still just sitting. I think the only other thing it really needs is I'm going to put a little transistor amp in this breadboard, and that will be the distortion circuit, so I can just switch it back and forth. I'll just put a little micro switch in here in one of these button slots, and we'll see if I can manage to fit it back up in there. And then I think all that's left is I'm going to put something on the back side of this so I can access the back of it, because it'll have the little USB thing. And maybe a little handle if I can figure out how to do that. Otherwise it's looking decent. I put together a transistor amp and it didn't work, so I got lazy and I just wired it straight into the LM386. I mean, the switch does activate diodes, but it's a very minute difference. So it's, I mean, it's fun. It's whatever. It's usable. And I gotta fix that, but the jack works as a switch, so we have that done. Alright, well, I give up on this. It's late, I'm tired, and I mean, it's working, so I don't care. It's plugged into the laptop, but it's just USB power going into the back here. So that's all closed up, sort of nicely. It's in, so it's working right now. I'll just do a little demo on that. I have the volume set at a spot right now where it won't break up, but it does have serious breakup issues just because it's LM386. So I have the phone offset just so some of the speakers are in contact and there's no issue. That's phone noise, don't worry about that. That's just what amps do around phones. Alright, I'm gonna turn it up. So this is not with the diodes engaged. This is just how it is at max volume. Just turn the overdrive diodes on, which again, it's a very slight difference. It's okay. It's kind of like your average shitty cheap amp diode sound. It sounds like every overdrive and every glary custom amp that you get on Amazon, but for a $7, I mean, this was probably like $12 total for everything here. LM386 amp. It could be cheaper if I managed to find a way to reuse the original booster, the original amp. But yeah, I mean, stuff just goes in previous holes, and then this is just stapled back on. I just, oh, I mentioned that. I don't know where I'm going with this. It looks cool. I like it. It looks cool. It's $7. You get them at Five Below. If I ever do anything with this, I mean, hell, if I even ever remember to post another video about it, then, I will. I'll show you what little tweaks I did to make it sound better or whatever, but for now, I'm happy with this. Guys, enjoy yourself. I don't know.